You guys gonna go in? Erica's almost there. Ooh. What's wrong, Erica? You don't want to go in the water? Go in the water. There goes Sean. Where's Sean go? Oh, there he is. Go in the water, Erica. What you doing, Sean? Sean! Let go of it now. Let go of it, Sean.
Mom, why are you not turning up then?
You want me to turn it up higher?
Yeah.
Okay. Becky. Sissy. What's wrong? Why'd you go down the slide? Go down the slide. Sean. Don't do that, please. Sean. Come on, you guys, leave it alone. Okay, Erica, stop it. Come on, go play in the water or go on the slide. Go. Come on, you guys. No, it's off limits. That's not ours. You better leave it alone. Sean, go play. Go play.
Oh, Handa! Come on, look at them.
Go play.
Look at. Turn it on. Turn it up, Mommy.
Did you get water? Go get some more.
Turn it on.
Just wait. Erica's getting her cup filled up. You want me to take a picture of you being a crybaby?
No.
Here.
You shut up.
Hey,
No.
this is Sean being a crybaby.
No, I'm not, you sucker.
You want to time me out?
No.
I don't think you need to talk like that. You all done? You got Sean in the face. Get your hand off it now. Erica, stop that.
Oh, that's the double two and down. Give me some Kellogg's Fruit Loops. The latest things from the company news. They're new. They're very revolutionary.
Tees, tees, we love our tees. We wear our tees in twos and threes. Just like Cool Top Skipper. One great t-shirt's not enough. Skipper piles them on and scraps her stuff. Ain't great books, she really cuts. At the Cool Top Skipper t-shirt shop, Connie makes you a special top. Wow! We just can't stop! With Cool Top Skipper in the t-shirt shop. You can shop together. Now Skipper's ready to go on a first date with a cute boyfriend Kevin. Don't shop, each so happy from the top.
Everybody say cheeseburger. Cheeseburger.
Speaking of cheeseburgers, let's go to Burger King.
Look out, Nature Dudes. We're coming.
Burger King's taking Homer, Marge, and all the Simpsons camping, including you know who. Now you can get one Simpsons character and camping scene in every Kids Club meal at Burger King.
The Burger King Kids Club, just for fun, not for you.
Okay, this is us in our new Jeep. And there's Mommy, and there's Erica, and Mommy, and there's Sean in there. Smile, Sean. Can you say cheese, Erica? This is our new Jeep. What'd you say? What'd you say?
Everybody thinks our car's broken.
Everybody thinks our car is broken. This is our new car. This is our new Jeep. We're up here, we're starting out at Schofield Barracks. It's clear today, there's no clouds hardly. And we're gonna start going through the pineapple fields and the sugarcane fields, so we're gonna take the microphone off. Tell everybody bye-bye, Erica. Say bye-bye. Okay, here we all are at Haleiwa. We went through the pineapple fields in Wahiawa, the sugarcane fields in Wahiawa, and now we're out here at Haleiwa to see some of the big waves. Wait.
About you.
Just wait till I'm done. They're probably coming in about 10 feet today. Let's see. It's 11:01 right now. Wait till I'm done. I'll let you have a try before we go again. Smile, Kel. Smile, Kel. Erica, smile. Oh, there's our new Jeep again. Oh, we got sweatshirts on today because when we started out, it was about 62 degrees. So we had sweatshirts and sweatpants. So now it's getting warmer and the sun's heating it up a little more. We took the sweatpants off and we're just keeping the sweatshirts on. Okay, more later, more later.
How did he get out of Hawaii? Played for Arizona State 4 years. 6 foot, 185 pounds. But later, all he did was drop it down and went down for a 9-yard loss. So now it is third down. 30 feet to go for a first down.
And the slide, how I go play on those toys.
Dropping back the throw, steps up in a pocket, going long down the far side, and Jennifer Willie Gump, and it is almost intercepted. It almost got picked off by Kevin Ross down the far side. David Ray was going to front after 3 running plays, and now the Raiders at their foul and they are forced to butt. And a nice fire on a field by Jeff Pocket, and the thing out about the 37-yard line, and don't place their call.
Please, we're making the round 6 around any flag.
Boomba, boomba.
Looking at the water, Sean.
See any surfers out there?
No swimming signs are posted.
Raiders had the football. Remember the first game, he still had to throw.
Okay, I'm not even getting close to you.
quiet. Be quiet.
La 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 la.
We're over here by Chinaman's Hat now. And there it is. That's Chinaman's Hat. Same one that we have the same little island that we have the poster of. And that over there, that's Connie. That's where the Marine Corps Air Station is. And Kailua off in the distance in the base of the mountains. And then This is all known as the Ko'olau Range. Runs the whole length of the island. And that's the direction we just came from. That's the way we're headed. Big waves out there still. They're still coming in around the 10-foot range. All along on the north side of the island here.
Yeah, I got it.
Before January 15th, and your participating IBM authorized dealer will throw in big rebates.
Oh, shit. Oh, we're in the tunnel.
National Cemetery of the Pacific. We're in a cemetery, Sean. No.
How come we just stop here? How come we stop here?
Because we're looking at something.
What are you guys looking at? What are you guys looking at?
1:31 in the afternoon. We're on the leeward side of the island now, inside a punch bowl. And we're going to be heading down and then going back up the Pali Highway to go to the other side of the island again. We just came through the leaky to come over to this side.
Yeah, balls around. That crap.
Okay,
Recording?
Yep.
Where's Diamond Head?
Up that way.
Can't see Diamond.
The big mountain.
Can't see the big mountain.
Sean, on the other side of the hotels, it's straight out that way. Look, that way.
I wonder why we're not going to the mountain. I wonder why we're not going to the mountain.
이거는 우리 쪽은 아닌데 우리가 지역이었어. 뭐 이럴 줄 몰라. 기억이 안 나. 그것도 아래
Oh, Jesus, Ben.
looking down on Kailua now. We left the Pali and we're coming down Pali Highway into Kailua. Then we'll be going around the island towards Sea Life Park and Hawaii Kai and Sandy Beach. And then back toward Diamond Head through Waikiki. And then office. They're probably wondering who we're coming to Spring. Shh, just wait, Sean.
Anytime.
Town and Country Stables on the right, on Kelly's side. Sit down. You're gonna have to wait. Policeman sees you standing up. He's gonna get in trouble. Look at the horses over here. They look real.
Can't see them.
Yeah, you couldn't, that's why I didn't take them. Bye-bye!
Thank you, Ben. It really helps when you're trying to do this. What? It is.
Hi, Sea Life Park. Kelly's taking pictures of Rabbit Island. This part of the island is known as Waimanalo. Straight ahead, some Makapu Lighthouse up on the hill. See it?
Yep, I got it.
Hello.
Bye-bye, medium video.
There's Ben. Driving us crazy. I love this road. I'm going to take this whole road.
Right now. Holy cow, look over there. You can see Molokai real clear. The island of Molokai.
I'm not gonna see shit there.
Where?
When I just tried to get Molokai. It was Jeep Molokai, Jeep Molokai. God, my hand that just wants to break. Crazy, Sean. We are just going crazy.
Going to Molokai. You want to go here?
There's a parking space right there. I didn't put my toy out and I got this joke.
So if you had, I would have seen you and you would have been in trouble.
Oh, sorry.
Here. You gotta cut this toenail with your phone.
No.
Where's your what go? Your toy? Where'd it go? Did it fall on the ground? I don't know. So can you see this while your legs? What's doing it?
Want to get out, Erica?
You gonna go walk the Charlie?
No trash cans here. Want to get out?
I'm not going to. You can take the kids. Well, someone's gotta stay here.
Nikki.
Here, you want your shirt?
I need my sunglasses. Come on, Sean.
Ask her and she wants to come.
Oh, you're gonna stay?
I'm gonna stay. She wants to come with you.
Stand up, Erica. Come on.
Daddy, come here. Come here, Daddy.
Come on, Sean.
I don't have a teacher. Here. Look at me, I have to sit here.
Stand up. Fix your shirt. See the water?
I'm going in the dark.
Huh? No, don't go down there. Don't go any further. You stay up there. Come here. Let's go down over here. Come on.
I'm going here.
Come on now. Come with me now. Now, Sean, get down. Stand up there. Watch. See? And now it's 2:37. We're headed to Hanama Bay. There's Sandy Beach. We just came from that way. And the island of Molokai.
Daddy, can I go down there?
Where?
Down there.
Down there?
Down there.
No, that's too far down. Let's go back to the Jeep and see Mommy.
Down where the people are.
Yeah, but let's go back and see Mommy in the Jeep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's the road we just came down from Hanauma Bay. This is looking out on Hawaii Kai. It's the backside of Diamond Head in the neighborhood of Kahala. And the road to Hanauma.
Oh, man.
Check it out, here we are inside Diamond Head Crater. It's 3:45, we're still at it. We came in the crater over there. It's a tunnel that goes through the rim of the crater. Had a bug in my leg. Down this road and right here to our new Jeep. We're breaking it in. So the crater, it's pretty big. Goes all around there. That's the top up there. When you're looking in Waikiki and you see Diamond Head, that's the part you see, but this is the back side of it. Comes around and around and around and back to the tunnel we came in. So let's find the children. Oh, they're way out there. Holy, they're way out there. They're a ways away. Yep. Ugh, what's that? Look, it's a Diamond Head monster. And there's her offspring. Get tired, run faster, get more tired.
Come back now!
Come back here! Here they come.
Run faster, faster!
Erica is no sprinter.
Okay, go back and get Sissy now. Go back and run back here with her. Hurry!
Run, run, get tired, more tired.
You're okay.
Come on, Erica! No, get up and run. You'll never get tired if you don't run. Erica's arms are gonna drop off.
Race! Race now!
Hurry, sissy!
Hurry, Erica, you can beat him! Come on, Erica! Sean, she's right behind you. She's gonna beat you.
Hi.
Is that fun?
Sean, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Where's Erica?
There.
Oh, way out there. She's still trying to run.
Come on,
Can I see? Can I see?
In a little bit.
Daddy, can I?
Oh, you
I said in a little bit.
Let's do it again.
Erica, say hi to everybody.
Let's do it again.
Say hi, everybody.
Can we do it again?
Sure, go run if you want.
Erica,
Wait, Erica, Daddy's talking to you.
say hi.
Hi.
Okay, go run.
Faster.
I don't think we'll be going to any of Erica's track meets. Where they are, maybe try to
Man, Sean's smoking her again.
I can barely run anymore. Look at her.
Erica's dying. Okay. I don't want to run the battery down. We got more to tape. We'll be back later.
What else are you gonna type?
Okay, it's 4:26. We're still at it. We're down here at Pier 7. There's the Aloha Tower. I guess we're gonna go up inside the tower and get a view, but that's the outside of the tower right there. And there's a big sailing ship, the Falls of Clyde, an old wooden hulled, four-masted schooner type sailing ship. There's the sun and the rest of Pier 7 area. So we're out of here till we get up in the tower. This is the other side of the tower. This faces west. Hey, get down. It's a long way down if he falls. Okay, as soon as I get done making pictures. Don't play at the door if it's not yours, Sean. That's where we live. Let's see. Right over that way is where we live. Right just a little in front of the two tall buildings in the center of the picture, at the bottom of them is where we live.
Yep, that's where we do, right, Daddy?
You sure, Sean?
Yeah, that's where we live.
Okay. Let's go out the other side over here. Come on, you guys.
There's the other side.
Uh-huh. This is the financial district right here. And that's Waikiki.
Daddy, that's where we were down there. See that water down there?
Yep, that's where we were. That's Diamond Head back there. We are inside Diamond Head Crater. Starts from right about there and then goes along behind the buildings to the front and then comes down. And there's the Falls of Clyde. Okay, just a second.
It's through here.
Say hi, Sean.
Say hi, Sean.
Erica, say hi.
Hi. Say bye.
Say bye-bye. Say bye. Erica.
Daddy, there's another side. Right over here.
This will save us a stop. There's a Dole water tower in the shape of a pineapple. And there's Tripler. That's the military's hospital on the island. Let's see. Up this pass right up here. Starts right down there and then goes up. That's the Leaky Highway going up through there. And then coming down right behind that building there, coming down that way is the Pali Highway. Okay, well, what, Erica? What? You want to come up? Okay, we're out of here. We've been filming long enough. We're out of here. Later. Okay, it's 5:14 in the afternoon. We're still at it. We're down here at the Arizona Memorial. That's the Ford Island Ferry. People's cars and motorcycles and people go on it, and it docks right over here on the other side of the memorial over there. It goes between there and Ford Island over there. And that's how people get out there onto Ford Island. There's the Arizona Memorial. December 7th, 1941. See, they've got it marked. That marker right there is the front of the battleship, and that marker right there, that's the back of the battleship. Flag flies 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, because Arizona is still considered a commissioned ship even though it's sunk, because it's got something like over 2,000 people trapped on it. And that's Ford Island. That's Pearl City in the background, and the mountain range that runs north to south on the island. And then over here is Pearl Harbor on this side of the harbor. Can't see any ships right now or anything, but that's the Arizona Memorial.
Believed the Americans were considering armed intervention. Then in July of 1941, after Japan's announced takeover of Indochina, the American president demanded that Japan withdraw her forces from both Indochina and the Chinese mainland. Great Britain, Holland, and the United States placed trade embargoes upon Japan. They froze her assets in their nations, and they stopped all shipments of oil to Japan. Faced by economic ruin, and with only a few months' supply of oil to fuel her war machines, Japan considered herself forced to the wall by the American president's demands. Demands to which she could not accede without the humiliating and unthinkable loss of face. From that moment on, there wasn't much doubt that there would be war in the Pacific. The only question was where the attack would come and when. When looked at with the benefit of hindsight, it should have been clear that the only place where the Japanese attack on the United States in 1941 was Pearl Harbor. The original concept for the attack was the creation of Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto.
He was commander-in-chief of the Japanese fleet. The admiral had attended Harvard University, and he served at the Japanese embassy in Washington, D.C. He had a healthy respect for the industrial muscle of the United States. He was studying the American base at Pearl Harbor, and he felt it was vulnerable to attack. His plan for the Japanese raid was brilliantly conceived and executed, but it was neither an original or unprecedented concept successful. In 1940, the British launched 2 waves of swordfish spy planes armed with torpedoes from the carrier Illustrious to attack the Italian fleet at Talanco. In little more than an hour, and with a loss of only 2 planes, the British succeeded in crippling almost the entire Italian Navy and changing the balance of naval power in the Mediterranean Sea. After the British raid, the United States Secretaries of Army and Navy, Henry L. Simpson and Frank Knox, agreed that Pearl Harbor would be highly vulnerable to just such an attack by the Japanese. The command in Hawaii was ordered to strengthen its defenses. Now, in looking back on those events, it seems incredible that more precautions were not taken to protect Pearl Harbor. It was an old Japanese custom to begin her wars with a surprise attack, as the Russians had learned to their sorrow at Port Arthur way back in 1898. In January of 1941, Yamamoto revealed his plans with instructions, make it work. The plan was given to Commander Minoru Ginda. He was a brilliant young Air Force officer from the carrier Akagi. Ginda immediately saw the possible similarities between this attack and that of the British upon the Italian fleet. Within 2 weeks, he returned his modified ideas of the plan with the comment that while the concept was difficult and dangerous, it was not impossible. Ginda's recommendations were as follows. The attack force was to be the greatest war fleet ever assembled. It was to be preceded by an expeditionary force of 27 large submarines, 5 of which carried 5 midget submarines piggybacked on their decks. The Armada would take a roundabout route, avoiding the well-traveled sea lanes until it reached a point 230 miles from Hawaii. From here, a force of 360 aircraft would take off from the carriers to fly an air corridor where few American patrol planes would be found until they reached Pearl Harbor. The attacking air fleet was to consist of torpedo bombers to hit the ships at Pearl, dive bombers to knock out the airfield, high-level bombers to finish off the ships, and fighters to provide air cover for the rest. When the attack was completed, the planes were to return to their carriers, and the Armada was to immediately return to the Japanese homeland. The mission of the submarines was to report any movement of the United States fleet prior to the attack, and to destroy any ships that managed to leave the harbor. The midget submarines were to attempt to penetrate the harbor itself and to launch their torpedoes at any ships within the harbor that escaped the torpedoes and bombs launched by the aircraft. The need for complete secrecy in moving a huge fleet thousands of miles over the ocean was of the utmost importance. Operation Hawaii was first revealed only to a select group of officers in the Imperial Navy, and even there it met with resistance. The Admiral considered it reckless, too dangerous. Even the man selected to head it, Vice Admiral Chuichi Nagumo, had strong doubts about the possibility of success. And no one dared mention it to the Emperor. Hirohito was opposed to war with the United States, and it was only when Yamamoto threatened to resign and to take his staff with him that the Chief of Staff, Admiral Nagumo, gave his approval to the plan. Training for the attack moved into high gear. An area near the southern city of Kagoshima was selected because of its resemblance to Pearl Harbor. Dive bombers screamed out over the mountains as they were to do a short time later over the ranges of Hawaii. Throughout all of the preparations, only a few of those involved had any idea that That spit of land that you see far off to the left there is Barber's Point. Today, that is the Navy's most important air base. Back in 1941, it was just another checkpoint for the Japanese planes as they came in to attack. Commander Fujita and the 180 planes of his strike force approached Oahu from the north, in spite of the clouds that hid the sea beneath them. Fujita had been able to correct his course by listening to the morning's radio program from Honolulu. The radio had been playing the usual early morning fare, Sweet Leilani, Blue Hawaii, and of all things, Glenn Miller's Sunrise Serenade. When the weather report came on, ceiling 35,000 feet, visibility good. The weather would be fine, and the Americans down below were obviously completely unsuspecting of what was to soon happen to them. In their attack on Pearl Harbor, the Japanese planes came in from several directions simultaneously. One group of dive bombers and fighters flew down the plateau between the mountain ranges in front of us. They were bombing Wheeler Field and Schofield Barracks on their way, then swinging wide to attack Hickam Field and Ford Island from the east with the sun at their backs. The high-level bombers led by Fujita came down the west coast. They hovered off Barber's Point for a while and then came into Pearl from the south. That's behind us. The 40 torpedo planes came across the Waianae Range and then split into two groups, one coming across the cane fields and up the waters of Middle Loch, the other swinging to the south and circling wide to bring them skimming over the waters of Southeast Loch toward the battleships moored at Ford Island. The entrance to the harbor was protected by three forts. The first of these was the oldest. It was Fort Kamehameha. It lies over the wooded area there on the right. The other forts were Fort Weaver and Fort Barrett. The forts bristled with guns, and any naval force would have thought twice before attacking on such a formidable array of firepower. But the attack was from the air, and the forts were useless. Later in the day, Fort Kamehameha did manage to get off about one shot. It shot at American destroyer Helm as she burst from the harbor. Fortunately, that shot missed.
It's all
Fort
housing
Weaver
at
and
Fort
Barrett
Kamehameha.
no longer exist. The areas over there where they stood are now used
We'd have to
for
walk
naval
around.
housing.
Yeah. We'd have to walk around all those things in the water. With my parents? Oh.
be the entrance to West Loch. That is the first of Pearl Harbor's major bays. It doesn't look like much from here, but there is more water in this bay than all the rest of Pearl Harbor combined. It twists and turns for miles through the cane fields to the base of the Waianae Range. The Navy's ammunition storage dumps are located here at the far end of the loch. That is called Powder Point. That is as far away as possible from the rest of the facilities for obvious reasons. Now, on the morning of December 7th, the destroyer Helm was in the main channel ahead of us, just about to turn up into West Loch. The first of the Japanese torpedo planes flashed by here, flying directly up the channel from the harbor mouth. Some of the pilots breathed at the helm. The quartermaster on deck waved back. He later remembered wondering what those planes with their fixed landing gear could possibly be. Before the concrete tower, to the right, is the emergency gravity water tank for Hickam Field. It supplies the base with water in the event of an attack or a natural disaster that might cut off the city's water supply. It was not bombed by the Japanese, and its contents became very handy fighting the fire at Hickam after the attack had ended. If it seems like a pretty fancy water tower, it is, because it was constructed to carry out the design of Hickam Field's administration building out below. In the middle of the dock area, and to the right where you see those cranes, is a low gate. This is Dry Dock 4. It is the largest dry dock in Pearl Harbor, and one of the largest in the world. It is 1,000 feet long, 150 feet wide, and 50 feet deep. It is larger than any of the locks in the Panama Canal. It can hold any ship in the United States Navy, with the exception of the new nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. This dry dock is only in the planning stages of the morning of December 7th. The two-story building with the heavy roof next to the dry dock is an auxiliary power plant for the Pearl Harbor repair area. When it was completed shortly before the end of the war, it was believed to be bomb-proof. The ceilings are 8 feet thick, and its walls are more than 5.
Damn. This is big though. Yeah.
That wooded area coming along on the right now
on the other
is
side.
Hospital Point. For many years, the Naval Hospital at Pearl Harbor was located here. After the war, the Navy moved its facilities to larger and safer quarters. This area is now used for officers' housing. The hospital took only minor damage during the Japanese attack. But of the 3,478 casualties in the area, more than 2,000 needed medical care. Teams of doctors and nurses and medical aides worked here around the clock for 10 days after the attack. The same was true of all hospitals on Oahu. 4 high schools had to be pressed into service as emergency stations.
Oh, there's a... Who's that?
Ahead and to the right is Ford Island.
I'm trying to figure out who that is. It's a boomer.
We will completely circle the island in a
Say Sam
clockwise
Houston.
direction, ending up coming down Battleship Road.
This is Sam Houston. Isn't that good news? Sam Houston's leaving.
That green navigational marker ahead and to the left, across the channel, marks the spot where the battleship Nevada was beached on December the 7th. Nevada was moored at the far end of Battleship Road. Almost immediately, she took a torpedo in her port bow and a bomb through her deck on the starboard side. She managed to cut her lines and got underway in a desperate attempt to get to the open sea. As she steamed up South Channel, all the Japanese planes in Pearl Harbor seemed to converge on her. Still, she came on with her bridge and superstructure in flames, almost hidden in the clouds of smoke from her guns. The attacking bomber hits. She was approaching the spot where we are now. She took 2 terrible hits. The Japanese were trying to sink her in the channel entrance. The men in the Naval District Control Tower were afraid the Japanese might just succeed. Signal flags waved. Reluctantly, the great ship cut her power, turned from the channel, and drifted on to Hospital Point. After the last of the bombers had disappeared, Nevada's commander backed her off the mud at Hospital Point, managed to move across the channel to the harbor's sand bottom. We can now get a clear view of Ford Island. It certainly seems quiet today, but in 1941, this was the center of the Navy's operations in Pearl Harbor. It was the site of the Navy's air station, and the Navy's PTY patrol bombers plummeted up the old seaplane ramps that were located over there. The planes from aircraft carriers based here when they were in port. The carriers themselves moored along the northwest side of the island. The battleships tied up in pairs along the southwest side. In the first wave of the attack, about 9 dive bombers struck the hangar here. They concentrated on the planes parked in Heath Road and hangar number 6. That's the big building that you see with the palm trees alongside and the large door on it. Within minutes, they had all been wiped out, the 74 planes. The hangar was blazing. Ford Island had been neutralized. Its runways were pockmarked and useless. Its air fleet had been destroyed. It was the same story at Oahu's other military airfields. Of all those 400 military aircraft on all of Oahu that morning,
taping everything.
only 38 planes were able to get into the air, and 2 of those were shot down. This left only 28 planes to combat 353 Japanese aircraft. The Japanese had secured their first objective. American air power on Oahu had been smashed, and the Japanese pilots were free to methodically bomb their pre-selected targets. Today, the airbase on Ford Island is seldom used. Its runways are too short for modern jet aircraft. The facilities have been moved over to the newer and larger base at Barbers Point. The body of water opening up on our left is Middle Lock. This is the second major bay in Pearl Harbor. It is the home of the Pearl Harbor mothball fleet. Most of the vessels you see over there today are service craft, tugs, barges, tankers, and sectional floating dry docks. For some years before the war, the Pan American Clipper base was located here in Middle Lock. 2 or 3 times a week, the huge flying boats roared across the water and lifted into the sky to hang for a moment above the city. They traveled at what then was the fantastic speed of 175 miles per hour. Believe it or not, it was only 18 hours to California. It was here in front of Middle Lock at around 8:30 a.m. on December 7th that the Viscount of Monahan spotted a conning tower slipping through the waters on the west side of Ford Island. The little submarine was on the surface. Her 2 torpedoes, mounted one above the other, were pointed directly at the Monahan. The Monahan rushed at the sub, her guns blazing. The shots missed, and instead set on fire a derrick on shore. Target ship, an anti-aircraft training vessel. Her decks had been covered over with a wide strip of concrete, and most of her superstructure had either been removed or covered with a protective box-like structure. From the air, she must have looked like an aircraft carrier, at least to the attacking Japanese. She was struck by 2 torpedoes at the beginning of the attack. Almost at once, she began to list to port. In a short time, her port rail was underwater. The order was given to abandon ship. At 8:12, she completely overturned, trapping 58 members of her crew. The bodies of these men have never been recovered. It is assumed that they still rest entombed here. If you will look closely at the cement section in the middle of the wreck, you will see a small bronze plaque. This was placed here in memory of her shipmates by the 461 members of the Utah crew who survived the attack. It reads, "In memory of the officers and men, USS Utah, lost in action 7th December, 1941. The wreck of the Utah blocked the approaches to the docks. 2 months after the attack, divers went down and wrapped steel cables around the ship. The hull was then rolled over and tugged to its present position. Some of the cables can still be seen on the exposed portion of the deck. The Utah rests in about 40 feet of water. She lists toward us at about a 40-degree angle. Today, all you can see of this 600-foot vessel is less than 10% of her upper deck." This was a busy place shortly after the attack began, with her doctors and nurses and her staff trying to keep up with the scores of wounded brought in by her launchers. The piers ahead are those of the Navy's refueling and supply center. Up behind the docks to the right, you can see a few of the many silver fuel storage tanks needed to maintain the fleet. This was another prime target that the Japanese missed. As we start down the east side of Ford Island, we'll be passing Battleship Row. On the morning of December 7th, 7 of the 9 battleships attached to the Pacific Fleet were moored here. The ships stretched for a mile to our right down the east side of Ford Island. It must have been a fantastic line of masts and funnels, an overwhelming expression of the might of the United States. It was unusual for the entire fleet to be in port at one time. But since the aircraft carriers that supplied air cover for the ships were on duty elsewhere, it had been considered safer to keep the ships in port over the weekend. Now we already know about the fate of the Nevada. The piers are coming up to us over there on the right. when the attack began, the morning flag raising ceremony was just underway. The ship's 23-piece band had just blared into the first notes of the Star-Spangled Banner. One plane sped toward them, dropped a torpedo on the Arizona, and peeled off above the Nevada's stern, spraying the band with fire from its guns. Incredibly, the band played on while other planes dove down at them. It wasn't until the final note of the anthem had been sounded that the men broke ranks and dove for cover. In getting underway that morning, the Nevada had done something that previously had been considered impossible for a ship of her size. She cast off her lines, cleared her berth without the aid of tugboats. Ordinarily, a battleship needed 2 hours to fire up her boilers and get up steam. And it took 4 tugs just to turn her around in the channel. The Nevada got underway completely unassisted in less than 1 hour. The Arizona was one of the largest ships in the fleet. She was 608 feet long and grossed out at 32,000 tons. The morning of December 7th was to bring a tragic end to her career and to the lives of most of the 1,543 members of her crew who were aboard. We are now approaching the flag that marks her wreckage and the memorial that commemorates the sacrifice of those who died with her. The battleships moored off Board Island underwent 8 separate attacks from all directions. Within 15 minutes, the Arizona was hit by a number of bombs and 5 torpedoes. At approximately 8 a.m., she was hit by a 1,000-pound bomb that landed by her number 2 turret. It crashed down through the forecastle and set off her forward magazine. Her boilers ruptured and the ship exploded. A monstrous ball of fire and smoke shot 500 feet into the air, and great shards of twisted steel rained down on the harbor. Flaming oil from her tanks covered the waters. The Arizona sank in 8 minutes. Over 1,000 men were cut down in that first explosion. On the bridge, Rear Admiral Isaac C. Kidd and Captain Franklin von Falkenberg were killed instantly. The entire ship's band was wiped out where it stood. The force of the blast threw the men on the nearby ship Nevada into the water. It stalled the motors of cars on Ford Island. In the air far above, Commander Fujita's plane trembled from the shock. Of the 1,543 men on board, less than 300 managed to escape. Today, the Arizona rests on the sandy bottom in an upright position and headed down channel. Her main decks lie beneath approximately 10 feet of water. The first orange buoy in the water over there marks the stern of the ship. The second buoy up ahead marks her bow. The large, rusty metal structure in the water is the base of her number 3 gun turret. If you look at the distance between the buoys, it will give you some idea of the true size of this mighty ship. It will also help you understand the tremendous force of the explosion that it took to sink her. It was several months after the attack that the Navy was able to attempt to recover the bodies of the men who went down with the Arizona. When divers were sent down, they found the inside of the ship was a maze of razor-sharp, twisted steel. A few bodies were recovered, but after 2 divers had lost their lives in the attempt, it was decided to leave the rest of the men where they lay. 1,102 men lie entombed in the wreckage. They represent every rank in the United States Navy, from apprentice seaman to rear admiral. The men considered officially buried at sea, and the Arizona lost in action. A terrible beating. At 8:15 a.m., she had been blasted by 6 torpedoes and 2 bombs. Her main decks were awash, and there was a sea of flaming oil around her. The order to abandon ship was given, but the men continued to fight the fire almost until sunset. The Tennessee was protected by the hull of the West Virginia. She was less severely damaged. She was hit by several bombs, but no torpedoes. She was unable to get away, though.
Watch
She
your
was
stuff.
pinned to her moorings by the wreck of the West Virginia. But her guns poured a steady stream of fire at the attacker. The Tennessee was in danger from the flaming oil in the water around her, the West Virginia. The captain saved the ship by running all propellers at full speed forward for 24 hours while still trapped to her moorings. This created a wake that kept the flames in the water away from the ship. To the next two piers on the right were the Maryland and the Oklahoma. Maryland was moored on the inboard side. She was least damaged of all the battleships in Pearl Harbor. The Oklahoma bore the brunt of the attack. Within a few minutes, she was blasted by 5 torpedoes. As the men on shore watched in disbelief, the huge ship rolled over and completely capsized. Of the Oklahoma's complement of 1,354 men, 415 were either trapped inside the hull or killed by bombs and scrapers. 36 hours after the attack, 32 men had managed to survive in air pockets inside the hull and were pulled out into the cool, fresh air by Navy civilian yard workers who had managed to cut through the armor plate with pneumatic drills.
He's taking pictures of ships over there.
The tanker Neosho was moored to the Navy gas dock directly behind the California. She cut her lines and got underway, narrowly missing the Oklahoma as she rolled over. The Neosho was a floating bomb. The long pier on the left is the 1010 dock. On the morning of the attack, the old mine layer Oklahoma was tied there outboard of the cruiser Helena. A torpedo passed under the Oklahoma and exploded against the Helena. The concussion burst the Oklahoma steam, and at 1010 dock, he turned over and sank. After the attack, the Helena was able to steam out under her own power and went off to the repair yard.
Huh? Yeah, right around the corner.
The gate to Rundown 1 lies at the end of 1010 dock. When the Japanese spoke, there were 3 ships used. The battleship Pennsylvania, the flagship of the fleet, and the destroyer's casing was down. The Pennsylvania's damage was slight, but the casing and the downs were nearly demolished by fire and the sudden flooding of the dry dock. At 10 a.m., the last of the Japanese raiders peeled off to the west and back. It was over. But down below, beneath the smoke that rolled up above the burning ships, men were still fighting the fires and trying desperately to rescue drowning convicts. The Hawaiian Islands lay shrouded in darkness beneath the moon. In the dark of them all, people waited in dread for the invasion that they were sure would come. But the Japanese fleet was not headed toward Hawaii. It was leaving full speed for home. Both Fujita and Ginza wanted to return to the attack. Nagumo refused. The American carriers might even now be rushing toward the Japanese fleet. He said, "We can consider the anticipated results to have been achieved." So it was Fujita, and at 1:30 that afternoon, the Japanese carriers were on their way. Military strategists agreed.